Hi you guys and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a really nice dessert candle. We're going to scent, we're going to color, and I'm going to do a blackberry blueberry candle. This is the scent that I've got here. I'm going to show you guys how I'm scenting and coloring, of course. So first we're going to start with doing the decoration. Then afterwards we're going to do the whipped wax. So let me just get my molds here and my colors. We're going to use a blue and black color. I'm just going to make the blue color a little bit darker, and I'm using these color granules. I prefer to use those instead of liquid colors, especially when it comes to making dessert candles. I just find I can dose them much better and control the color. So having said that, let me just move those things. Let's just attach our wick here. And I'm just using a glue gun. Just gonna add some of that. If I have enough glue here, just push a stick in there. It should pop right out. There we go. I'm just gonna attach that to my center here. Just gonna make sure it's well pressed down. There we go. Perfect. I'm just going to stabilize my wick. There we go. Perfect. So now that our vessel is ready, let's start off with weighing some wax here. So I got two different pots because we are going to do some blackberries, which are going to be black, and we're going to do some blueberries as well. So first, let's start off taking my first pot here. So I'm just going to weigh out 80 grams of wax, which is 2.82 ounces. A little bit too much. Now this step is really important, you guys, especially if you're going to scent. You need to know how much wax you have exactly in order to calculate your scent. So we have 80 grams here, which I said was 2.82 ounces. All right, so I'm going to do that with the next pot here as well. Going to have almost exactly just gonna add a little bit more. There we are. Perfect. So now that we have our waxes weighed off here, just gonna put this one aside. We can weigh off our scent. So what's important here is we know we have 80 grams of wax, which is 2.82 ounces. I'm just gonna put this one on, and I'm going to scent at 10%. And that's going to be, just open the scent here. It's a new scent that I got. I'm just going to, oh wow, now that's really nice. Blackberry and blueberry is just amazing, this scent. So if we have 80, so we're going to weigh off here. I like to use a pipette. It's a bit easier to control. Sorry, I mean 8 grams of scent. We just keep on going until we hit 8 grams. There we go. As you can see, I have just a little bit too much. That's great. About the pipette, we can just take away some, add a few drops there. put it back up a date. There we go. There we go. So in ounces, that would be 0.28. So I'm just going to put that aside. So now that we have our scent ready, we are going to melt our first batch of wax. The wax that I'm using here is a soy wax. It's a soy pillar wax. It's a harder wax, so we want to use that when we do our decorations. We're going to use a different type of wax when we're going to do the whip wax though, and it's going to be like a blended coconut soy wax, but I'm going to explain that a little bit later in the video. Now I'm going to melt this over a bain-marie, and I'm going to melt it to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 73 degrees Celsius. Okay, you guys, I got my scent ready. Sorry, my wax ready here. I got it all nicely melted. So now we can add our color, and let's start with doing the blueberries. So I'm just going to add some blue color. Just going to add it gradually because it's quite a strong color. Then we're just going to color test it. Just gonna add a little bit more. You can see how the color changes immediately, but it is a little bit tricky, you guys, because the color is quite intense blue here, but once it starts setting, it's quite light. So what I like to do is I like to use a paper plate where I test my colors at, and like that I can see whether I have the desired color. So I'm just going to test my color right now. I'll put a drop here. Just gonna leave that set just a little bit. Next, we're going to add a little bit of black color. It seems to be looking quite blue, which is nice. So we have to be careful with the black, because if we add too much of the black, we can't really reverse that. So I'm just gonna add bit by bit. That's a nice color here. However, I'm still gonna add a little bit more blue, just to make sure the nice blue color shines through. Just give it a good nice stir. I'm going for a more dirty blue color, like a blueberry. Let's do a small test again. We can add a bit more. I'm just chipping it off here. Just make sure that all your colors incorporated in the wax, that you don't have any granules left in there. So now this became a little bit more darker, guys. So let's see. Well, that's nice, but let's just add that little extra and just give it a little stir. So in the meantime, now that we have been stirring, our wax have cooled off quite a lot. So we can go ahead and add the scent. The best temperature to add the scent at is 65 degrees Celsius, and that's 149 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's just go ahead. And here you want to make sure that you stir it very well. Make sure your scent is all nicely incorporated. Just get those little golden extra drops out. There we go. Perfect. So now that our wax is ready, let's start pouring into our molds. So I'm just going to grab my blueberry molds here. And I'm just going to pour them in. Now we're just going to leave these to set, you guys. We can just chip off the extras here, but I like to overfill them a bit because the wax will contract in the mold, and it's important that we get the whole mold done here. I'm just going to get these things off. Just going to clean off the table here a bit. There we go. Now let's leave those to set. So now we can do the blackberries. So we're going to do these here. So we're going to do the same process. We're going to weigh off our scent. And we're going to do just the same. We had 2.71 ounces of scent. And that is, there we go, let's just grab that one. That's going to be 8 grams of scent. There we go. So we are still scenting at 10%. So you guys, another thing that's important, especially when you're scenting, you need to kind of also see with your brand what is the best scentage. Like for example, this one is from 70 to 10%. So, but it can vary. Some scents can be scented at 1% because they are so strong. So you really want to be sure you know your product and read about your product, of course, and consult with your supplier if you have any doubt. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we have our scent ready. And we had already weighed out our pot before. So we're going to melt this again. And we're going to melt it to 73 degrees Celsius, which is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, you guys, so now I melted the other batch here. So let's color that with the black color granules. We're going to do the blackberries. I'm just going to add 3 to start with. And then we can check the color and see how it is. And see how dark it becomes. I'm still going to check it on my paper plate. Just gonna add 1 more in there, just to make sure we have a nice deep black color. Let's just stir that well. Gorgeous. Now let's add our scent. There we go. Just going to stir it very well. Perfect. Just going to grab some paper just to take it off the table here. Sometimes you get these little drops. Let's take our molds here and start pouring in. Perfect, you guys. So let's just leave those to set now, all of them. And once they are ready, we're gonna demold them. Okay, you guys, so in the meantime, while we are waiting, we can actually pour the excess wax that we have, and we can make some wax melts, so we don't have any waste. Just move them a bit. And I have this polycarbonate mold that I use. I use that for a lot of my wax melts. I do have a website, you guys, where I do sell my candles, and I sell my wax melts in there as well. So I'm just going to top it up here with the rest of it. If you guys want to dig deeper into candle making, I do have some ebooks as well, which I sell on my website. You can find them under gift boxes. At the end of this video, I'm going to attach a link at the bottom, and then you can navigate to the website if you wish to. So as you can see, I'm really filling them up because the wax is going to contract. So let's just make sure everything is in there. Perfect. And now let's grab the other one. Just gonna pour this one in as well here. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna set these aside for now. Let's have a look at these. Just gonna chip off the excess here. Oh, there we go. Blueberry. I'm going to leave them a little bit more. I'm just going to take off the accents. It is a little bit soft still, so I prefer to wait. Okay, you guys, let's demold them and just put them in the little bowl here. Kind of cute, isn't it? Looks like real blueberries. Pop easy out. Perfect, you guys. So now that we have our little berries ready, put them aside. So now we're going to prepare our whipping wax. So I'm going to use some fuchsia color here to color with. I want a nice pink color. It's a bit different than pink. It's a more stronger pink, right? Fuchsia. So just going to grab a new pot here, and we're going to tap it from my tower over here. I have a soy coconut blend of container wax in here, and it's at the exact temperature. So let's just tap that. I'm just going to tap approximately 90 grams, which is 3.17 ounces. And we need to, of course, know the grams because we need to scent that wax as well. There we go, you guys. Perfect. Just gonna wipe that off here. So we're going to have to scent it. Perfect. Just gonna put this aside for a moment. So we're going to scent it at 0.32 ounces, which is 9 grams. Just gonna prepare that quickly here. And we are scenting again at 10%, of course. There we go, exactly. Perfect. So now that we have our scent ready and our wax, I'm just gonna grab a spoon. Just gonna stir it well here. I'm just gonna put it a little bit over the bain-marie just to heat it just 1 or 2 degrees higher, not much. Okay, you guys, so let's color our wax. And we're going to color test it again. It's quite a strong color, this one, so you want to be careful. I just added 2 little. Just gonna add a little bit more. We want a little bit stronger color, you guys, especially because we are going to whip the wax. So once we start whipping it, it's going to change completely colors on it. Just gonna add an extra big one here. And then we're gonna color test it. That's beautiful. Perfect, you guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add, this is quite pinkish, I'm going to have to add a little bit of red because I want to have a little bit more depth to it. Okay, now I got the color. Now let's just make sure we have everything dissolved here. Yeah, now we can just test it out. See, they became a bit more deeper in color, which is great, perfect. So let's leave it at that. Let's just add our scent here. Just gonna make a good stir. Now you guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to leave the pot here. In the meantime, I'm just going to prepare my piping bag while the wax is cooling down. I'm going to stir every 5 minutes so far. Scrape the edges and the bottom because that is the part of the wax that's gonna cool first. And you want to keep on stirring and stirring. However, once it's ready, I will show you guys when it's ready to be whipped. Okay, you guys, so as you can see, the wax is starting to set here, getting quite thick. So I'm just going to stir here. And I was doing that every 5 minutes, just scraping those edges, the bottom as well. And it just kind of turns into this puree consistency. I just keep on stirring it until I have a little bit thicker consistency, but that's gonna literally happen in 2 minutes. And then we can start whipping our wax. Okay, you guys, so let's give this another stir here. Just scrape the bottom. There we go. I'm going to grab my hand mixer, just a regular hand mixer. I'm going to start whipping the wax. Now, as you guys can see, we're getting like this more of a whipped cream consistency here. It's becoming lighter in color as well. But we need to continue it. It's a little bit too runny. So now let's have a look. Just gonna warm up my spoon here just a little bit, not to shock the wax. We can test it whether it's holding a bit peak or not. Just gonna scrape the edges. The wax is still warm, you guys, so it still needs to be warm to the touch. So let me grab my piping bag. Fill it. I'm just gonna grab my nozzle just a little bit just to warm it up. I don't want it to get all stuck in my nozzle suddenly. Here we go. I'm gonna grab my vessel here. Just gonna do a test pipe. Oh, that's gorgeous, perfect. Gonna pipe it around at the bottom. Make sure you have plenty around the wick. Now I'm just going to build up around. Okay, put it back here. Just gonna add my berries on the sides here. You want to work a little bit fast. You don't want to be too slow with it. If you need to, you can always heat up your nozzle just a little bit. Now what you can do, you can also just curl the tip as well. I'm just going to do that with this one here. I'm just going to twirl it around. This is just a small paintbrush that I'm using. Just going to spread that out. And there you go, you guys. Really lovely blackberry and blueberry candle, scented. And then you can just add your label here. And of course you want to add your safety labels at the bottom and at the back. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you like what I do. And yeah, When you subscribe and give me a comment and a like, it helps me actually to keep my content free of charge. So I would appreciate that a lot. Thank you guys again for watching. Bye.